The random negative words of criticism ever send you on a depressive or furious spiral? Have you ever had something pointed out to you by a loved one or a friend and you've acted in an angry or reclused yourself away from them and not really know why? Well, then you might have something known as rejection sensitive dysphoria or RSD. So what is RSD? According to Dr. William Dodson, rejection sensitive dysphoria or RSD is an extreme emotional sensitivity and emotional pain triggered by the perception, not necessarily the reality, that a person has been rejected, teased, or criticized, and that it may also be triggered by a sense of failure, failing to meet either their own high standards or others' expectation. Dr. Dodson also says that nearly everyone with ADHD experiences some level of RSD. RSD manifests itself in different ways. When it's internalized, it brings about depression, anxiety, and it really eats away at your self-esteem. When it's externalized, it brings about bouts of anger and rage, and you find yourself lashing out at people. For me, it was the former. The pain caused me to withdraw away from people and stop wanting to do things to a point where I stopped feeling or thinking or just doing anything at all. Now, RSD is not specific to ADHD. It was first called hysteroid dysphoria by Dr. Donald Klein, who noticed a heightened response to the pain of loss in people who have borderline personality disorder. He later renamed it to rejection sensitive dysphoria and noted that MAOIs, which are antidepressants, were quite effective in treating RSD. It also forms a unique diagnosis of atypical depression, with one of the atypicalities being that mood seems to improve after positive events. Now, RSD is not found in the DSM for ADHD. It is, however, found in the DSM for atypical depression and borderline personality disorder. Now, it has to be taken into account that none of the emotional regulation problems of ADHD is in the DSM, because initially the DSM was just supposed to be outward symptoms that could be used to diagnose ADHD. Now, as I mentioned, I started avoiding feeling and thinking to avoid all pain caused by RSD. Say I'm walking down the street and I said hello to someone and they didn't respond. It could just be that they didn't hear me because they were listening to music, or that they didn't see me, but to me it was personal. I took it personally. It was because they didn't like me. Or say I said a joke at a party and no one laughed. I would be crushed. I wouldn't want to be there anymore. It was that bad. But it could just be that no one found it funny. It could have just been a bad joke. But I would have been, no, they just dislike me and don't want me here. Now, this really crystallized a few years ago for me when I had a massive crush on a girl, but we'd never really talked. I barely knew her. But when she got a boyfriend, I was crushed. It sent me in a depressive spiral for months, even though I had never really even asked her out, or even talked to her for that matter. In terms of treatment, Dr. Dodson suggests various medications include MAOIs, which have also been proven to be helpful with rejection sensitivity in both borderline personality disorder and in treating RSD in atypical depression. Now, I'm no medical expert, so if you want to go the medication route, please talk to your psychiatrist or doctor. Alternatively, there's also counseling and therapy. My counselor helped me understand the difference between actual and perceived rejection, which really helped me, as most of my problems were due to what I perceived to be falsely as rejections. He explained to me that in a rejection there are two parties, the self and the other, the rejectee and the rejector. But in my case, she had never really rejected me, as I've never really put myself out there, so it wasn't a rejection. Counseling really helped bring my RSD under control. Now, it still flares up now and again because you can't really control when it happens, but now I can say, stop. Is there a logical way to see this? Maybe it wasn't rejection. I know I have difficulties in this regard. Maybe it's anything else. And just with those thoughts, I can calm myself down much sooner than I would have done previously, which would have taken me months. Now it takes me days, or even hours. RSD sucks. Plain and simple. I think it's one of the most debilitating things about ADHD because it really makes you want to stop going out there and trying after a while. After what you perceive to be rejection after rejection, all of the negative emotions, it really tears at you. It just makes you want to stop trying. And personally, I think RSD is one of the first things to try to bring under control because it really hinders your ability to want to change and improve in anything else. And that's it for this video. All the relevant links will be in the description. If you guys have any ideas of videos that you want me to make, please comment in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.